What up, y'all? Welcome to Hip Hop Reviews. I am your host, Vegas, and today we're going to review the documentary Fresh Dressed. Now, this documentary is available on Netflix, and there'll be a link on my site, hiphoppolitic.com, where you could check it out. Also, I think you could buy it as well, and there's some other things there, but I saw it on Netflix. It's basically a documentary detailing the history of hip-hop fashion or urban fashion or whatever way you want to categorize it, mainly African-American fashion in America, where it started in the 70s as it relates to hip-hop music and culture. And it's pretty dope. Well, first of all, welcome to the Dungeons of Rap. How could I forget to say that? But it's basically starts, with the gang culture that came about in the 70s, and what's dope about it even beginning there is them telling you why the gang culture began, which had a lot to do with police brutality, which we see Black Lives Matter and all that today, but it was worse back then because it didn't have the same exposure, and awareness across the world, everywhere. But back then, it was kind of in every community, not just New York. But it was a thing where, that's where the gangs came from in New York. And with the gangs came, different things that they use as far as fashion to identify themselves. And even though it was gangs, there was, there was something there with, it wasn't just, okay, well, this gang wears this shirt with this, not shirt, but this jean jacket with this symbol on the back with these patches. There was a little style to it, a little fashion to it. And the documentary goes from there into how incident back then when there, a couple of gangs were fighting and this dude was killed. And I'm not trying to give away too much because I want you to go see it. But this dude was killed, and the gangs had a truce. And one way, it was still a part of their crews, but a way for them to kind of, I guess, battle each other without fighting or killing each other was hip-hop, rap. So, you see some of that there, and the documentary just goes through the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, all the way up until today. But what's really dope about it is not only showing the fashion of each era and how some of it comes back and how some of it changed and how it became upscale, but even highlighting people who were pivotal in those early years. And for me, myself, I was a kid in the 80s, probably around 10, 12 years old. So, a lot of it I didn't have because I didn't have money to get it myself. And, my mom's was a single mother. But I remember a lot of it, and little things from how people used to spray paint their shirt and put their name on their pants and things of that nature. And I remember a lot of that, and it was dope back then because it was an expression of who we were and our culture and where we came from and what we represented. And in New York City, it's really about being an individual. It's one thing to see something that's hot and new and it's kind of exclusive and you want to be a part of it, but then when it becomes something that everybody's wearing, the mentality was, how can I top that? How can I be different? But they did things like they highlighted the dude Dapper Dan, who back in the 80s or whatever, Louis Vuitton and all of that and Gucci wasn't really being made to complement the fashion of these urban communities. They made what they made. So he would take what they would make and make, caps and leather jackets that you couldn't go to the Louis Vuitton store and get, and bags and all types of things, belts, everything. And, just showing, how he was kind of like, the Versace of the hood, And not just the hood, but, there were plenty of rappers back then like LL Cool J and Salt and Pepper and Biz Markie and Big Daddy Kane who were all, and hustlers who all going to Dapper Dan, to get these things. And the documentary just goes from, the beginnings, to how creative it was getting in the 80s, to when in the 90s you had the different brands like Cross Color and Karl Kani and Mecca and Echo and later FUBU, and showing the rise of these different brands and how it became more about culture. And it as hip hop started to expand in the 90s, as so did the fashion sense. No longer was it going to Dapper Dan in Harlem, by the gate, as he would say, to get what you had to get. It was like this was becoming a national thing. You turn on the TV and Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Will Smith has it on, and you go watching Living Color, and people in that cast have it on, and you watch Tupac and he has Karl Kani on, you know what I'm saying, and Biggie and Naughty by Nature, and they even go into how the different rappers had their own fashion lines, and how that grew from there, and even the fall of all of that stuff, and the rise of basically urban hip hop fashion getting back to what it was, back to being an individual, you know what I'm saying, and not really just being about, okay, well, I'm a fan of Eminem, so I wear Shady wear. I'm a fan of Outkast, so I'm gonna wear Outkast, or Wu wear, you know what I'm saying, or Rocker wear, or what was G Unit clothing, whatever it was called. You know what I'm saying? It kind of got away from that because one of the trends was, that artist wasn't popping anymore, neither was their clothing line. And that's whack. But that's just how it went down, you know what I'm saying? So I think overall the documentary's a go. I think you should check it out. If you're a hip hop fan, if you're a fashion fan, if you're a person who had no knowledge of how this happened, where these big pants come from, where these tight pants come from, you know what I'm saying? It's all related to each other, you know what I'm saying? And to me personally, it's something that I knew because I followed a lot of these things as a kid growing up in the magazines. Like, I didn't just want to wear Karl Kani. I wanted to know where the hell he came from, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't just pay attention to things because that's my favorite. I paid attention to these things because, you know what I'm saying, I wanted to know how they came about, you know what I'm saying, and what was the business and why it's not popular anymore. And, music not being popular and your brand is associated with it, that just comes with the territory, man. So it's definitely a dope watch. I think if you are a older person, you know what I'm saying, who still wants to know, why is hip hop, so big, you know what I'm saying? Why is it still around? You know what I'm saying? Why is my grandson wearing the skinny jeans with the Timberlands and the colorful hat with the crazy glasses or whatever? You know what I'm saying? This is why, because it's all a part of the fashion and he's expressing himself. So it doesn't matter if it's you wearing suits every day back in your day, me wearing baggy jeans and fatigues and all that in the 90s, and the skinny jeans wearing dude around the corner. It's all a part of it. We don't necessarily have to like, or I can't say like, but yeah, we don't necessarily have to like the fashion of each generation, but we should respect it because it's coming from the same place. It's a form of expression. Fresh Dress on Netflix. Dope. You should check it out. Follow me on Twitter at VegasWorldINC and check out the blog, hiphoppolitic.com. Also, if you have Facebook, facebook.com/hiphop right now. Subscribe. You know what I'm saying? There's more content coming. You know what I'm saying? If you have a comment, you saw the documentary, what are your thoughts? You know what I'm saying? Even if you didn't see it, what do you think overall about hip-hop fashion and where it started and where it is today? And until next time, y'all, I am not a critic. I'm a fan. Peace.